So here in our area, we have a lot of military, so we do a good amount of VA loans. And it used to be that for a VA loan, the seller would have to pay for the pest inspection and any repairs, but the VA, I guess, just changed that, so that is no longer
Yep, they've
the
made some
case.
updates to their guidelines. So especially people that maybe got a VA loan in the past, and it's just stuck in their head that they have to pay for they can't pay for the repairs, and they don't pay for pest inspection. So now the VA has opened up on that. Now remember, you can get the VA has 4% back in closing costs, but it's really unlimited as long as they go towards the loan or buying down the rate.
Okay.
So that is an advantage for the veterans. So I mean, this is why it's always a good idea to make sure, even if you've done a loan in the past, always check with your lender and your real estate agent to make sure you're up to date on, because it's a constant changing of guidelines, as you know.
And we would, to get that 4% back, we'd have to find a house where it had been sitting for
Correct.
a little bit, and they'd be willing. Usually the most we can get back is 2%. That's about usually what I see what the sellers are willing to do. But
well, and depending on you're doing your research of how much it'll appraise for, you can always go up if you believe it'll appraise for more, and they might that be.
That was what we did in 2000.
Yeah, all the time.
When I were 5, 6, where we would do like $20,000 more than the list price, and then we would give the $20,000 back in seller subsidy, but then you have to worry about if we're going to have an appraisal problem or not. So it's just a case by case situation.
Technically on VA and FHA loans, there's a mandatory clauses and you can't waive appraisal, but as long as the person is willing to come out of their pocket for anything extra, you can still do that.
And I did have a transaction last year where I had a VA person, and they had the money where they could pay if we waived the appraisal, but we had to write in the contract that, I did a special addendum where I said we have to do an appraisal because this is a VA loan. So I technically have to have the contingency, but my clients are willing to pay $20,000 over the appraised value, and that worked in that situation because we knew that.
Right. And I mean, of course, that listing agent will call the lender and make sure that they do, in fact, have those kind of funds.
Yeah.
And they will be able to